Hello guys, here's Programming to Inspire. Welcome to the third part of the stack series. Create a new class game object. Put it in the .game object folder package. Create a few variables: public, float, x, y, new y, public int with height, public sprite, public boolean moving, and animate is equal to false, public double speed is equal to 1.0 and max speed is equal to 3.0. Import sprite, public random rand is equal to new random, public game object int x, int y, int sprite, boolean moving, import random, this dot x is equal to x, this dot y is equal to y, this dot new y is equal to y, this dot width is equal to sprite dot width, this dot height is equal to sprite dot height, this dot sprite is equal to sprite dot is equal to sprite, this dot moving is equal to moving, and this dot speed is equal to random dot next double times parenthesis max speed minus 1.0 plus 1.0. If random dot next int with a bound of 2 is equal to 0, then this dot speed times equals minus 1. Here has to be sprite and not int sprite. Sprite public void set width int new width, this dot sprite is equal to new sprite, new width height and 0, this dot width is equal to new width, public void update if moving, so if something is moving on the screen, if this game object is moving, x plus equals speed, it will go to the left and right and bounce out of the walls. If x plus width is greater or equal to stack dot width, x is equal to stack dot width minus width, and speed times equals minus 1. If x is less than 0, x is equal to 0 and speed times equals minus 1. If keyboard dot key down key event dot vk space underscore space, that will be for stopping our blocks, this dot moving is equal to false, int previous width is equal to game dot objects dot get game object dot size minus 2 dot width. We haven't created that variable, so here will be an error for now. Int new width is equal to int casted previous width minus math dot absolute stack dot width divided by 2 minus x plus width divided by 2. And this calculates new width. If new width is less than 0, this means it's a game over. Game over is equal to true. We also don't have this variable yet, and return. And afterwards set width to our new width. After the if moving, if game.animate, we also don't have this yet. This dot animate is equal to true, and new y is equal to plus equals height plus 1, x is equal to math dot round x. This will be when we will click on space, everything will go one block down and to the middle, the one that has been moving previously. So if animate boolean has animated is equal to false, if y is less than new y plus plus has animated is equal to true, if x plus width divided by 2 is less than stack dot width divided by 2, x plus plus has animated is equal to true, if else if x plus width divided by 2 is greater than stack dot width divided by 2, x minus minus and has animated is equal to true. If it hasn't animated anything, animate is equal to false. So this block is not animating anymore. Game.animate, okay. Now let's also render our game object. So public void render renderer dot render sprite int x and int y, because they're floats, and import the renderer, our renderer. So now go into the game, and here we have to create some variables first. So private random rand is equal to new random public static list of game objects is objects boolean spawn new is equal to false, import util list. Now public static boolean animate is equal to false, and animating is equal to false. Public static boolean game over is equal to false. Now go into the init method objects sprite we forgot to make this as well. Sprite object sprite, they will be black rectangles. So object sprite is equal to new sprite 100 will be the biggest one, and then how big they will be. 29 and 1 will be for the space between them. Objects is equal to new array list of game objects and objects dot add new game object stack dot width divided by 2 minus objects sprite dot width divided by 2 stack dot height minus 30 object sprite and false, so they won't be moving. Now create 3 more, and here do 30 times 2 and here 30 times 3. Spawn new is equal to true, game over is equal to false, animate is equal to false, animating is equal to false. Spawn new. In the update method, we have to first check if it is game over. If game over, if keyboard dot key event dot ref for restart, call the init method for the restarting, and return if we don't press anything. Under that, we have to update all of the objects. So int I is equal to 0, I is less than objects dot size I plus plus, objects dot get I update, animate is equal to false. Copy this into the render method, and change update to render. Now go under animate is equal to false if spawn new. If we have to spawn new, check if it is animating, because when it's animating we don't want to spawn. So if it is not, object sprite is equal to new sprite, objects dot get objects dot size minus 1 dot width. So the width will be however big is the previous one. Objects dot add new game object, random dot next int bound will be stack dot width minus objects sprite dot width, and stack dot height minus 30 times 4 object sprite and true for moving, so it won't be stationary. Spawn new is equal to false, else if it is animating we have to boolean end of anim. We are gonna check if it is still animating or if it is actually already animated everything. True. For int I is equal to 0, I is less than objects dot size I plus plus. If objects dot get I dot animate end of animation is equal to false. If none of them is still animating, it is end of animation. So animating is equal to false. Now go here and else. So if not spawn new, if not object dot get objects dot size dot one -1 dot moving spawn new is equal to true. Animate is equal to true, and animating is equal to true. So if the last one, the last block stops moving, we have to spawn a new one. And let's try it out. We have some errors, so go here. Here is semicolon missing and size parentheses. Now let's try it, and nothing happens when we click on space. Go into the keyboard, and here we forgot to do some. Here we have to do keys dot e dot get key code is equal to true, and here it is equal to false. So try it now, and now it works. So great, and this is a game over. So R for restart.